Hi everyone, welcome to Science Today. Today I am going to do the saltwater experiment. So we're going to have 4 glasses of water and we're going to put different substances into the water to see if we can make grapes sink or float. So that is what we're doing today. But for first, let's go over what I gave you guys for the week. First I did the science experiment overview, which it just explains again what steps to follow when doing the scientific method and when we're doing the science experiment. So you can either follow it while you're doing the experiment yourself, or if you want to just follow along with this video. The next thing I sent was the science experiment itself. There was 4 pages, so you're able to do the science experiment if you have the items at home. And then the last thing that I sent you was the scientific method. This is the scientific method that we adapted for our students. This is what we created. We have observe, wonder, ask questions, discuss the materials needed for the experiment, predict, plan and predict what is going to happen, explore, experiment, touch, feel, look, and listen, and check, review, and make reflections. So I have it right here for you too during the whole experiment. And then I broke down each step onto each page. So we have observe, wonder, ask questions, discuss the materials needed for the experiment. What do we need? Predict, plan and predict what is going to happen. What will it do? We have explore, experiment, touch, or feel, look, listen, taste, and smell. And then the last one was check, review and make reflections. What did it do? So that is what I sent you. Let's start. Let's get the experiment started with. So the first thing we need to do is we need to observe, wonder, ask questions, discuss the materials needed for the experiment. What do we need? We need 4 clear glass cups and water, which I already filled with water. We need salt. We need sugar. And we need baking soda. And we also need some grapes. They said that you could use jewels, but I don't have any jewels, so I have grapes. I like to use stuff that I can actually use after the experiment, so I don't think I'd ever use jewels again. So grapes, I love grapes. They're one of my favorite fruit. So I chose grapes. You can choose whatever you want. All right, let's see. Next, we need to predict, plan and predict what is going to happen. What will it do? So I'm basing this off of the salt water only, okay? I decided to, when we're gonna predict and then review at the end, we're only talking about the salt water, okay? So grape will float in salt water, or grape will sink in the salt water. So you have to choose. What do you think the grape is going to do when I put it in water that's mixed with salt? Do you think it's going to float, or do you think it's going to sink? So right now I want you to choose that, and then we will get started with the experiment. All right, the third step of the scientific method is explore, experiment, touch, feel, look, listen, and taste. Look, listen, taste, feel, and smell. So let's do it. Let's do the experiment. So the first part of it says what items are needed, and then once we have the supplies done, we can get started with it. So I have 4 clear glasses filled with water. I'm going to leave 1 with just water. It's our control, so we know what actually will happen if you don't have anything added to the water. And then the next one, we're going to do salt. And it says that we need to dissolve 2 tablespoons of salt. So I have 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of salt. All right. And I'm just going to leave this behind because they said to label it, but I'm not going to label it because this is going to be a quick one. Next, I'm going to do sugar. 1 tablespoon of sugar. They said 2 tablespoons of each. 2 tablespoons of sugar. And the next is baking soda. So we need 2 tablespoons of baking soda. One tablespoon of baking soda. 2 tablespoons of baking soda. And then we have one with all right. We have one with just water, we have salt, we have sugar, and we have baking soda. I'm just gonna mix it real quick because it does say dissolve. Okay, salt, sugar. Sugar doesn't look like it dissolves as much, huh? Sugar, and then baking soda. All right, so now here we go. I'm gonna put like a couple of grapes in each of the cups. So first I'm just gonna do one to see what water, grapes, I think are heavier than water, so it sank to the bottom. Oh. Look at the grape. It went down, but it looks like it's like gonna come back up. It's coming back up. It's not completely sunk. Sugar, sank. Baking soda, sank. Okay. Let's see if I can stir these up more and see what happens. Oh, so this one. Oops. All right. So I put 3 grapes in each, and the only one that looks like it floats is salt. The baking soda doesn't even look like it's floating. So what does this mean? Why are 3, just the plain water, sugar, and baking soda sink, but why does the salt float? So here's why. The salt makes the water more dense, which means it's heavier, and because it's dissolved, and which means that the water is heavier than the grapes, and so that's why the grapes float. All right, so let's look at, I think that was it. Let's do the last step of the scientific method, which is check, review, and make reflections. What did it do? Did the grapes float in the water, in the salt water, or did the grapes sink in the salt water? This is the salt. Looks like it floated, didn't it? So that's your answer. It floated. So choose that one. All right, that is it for me. This is the last science experiment for a little bit until we get back to school after Labor Day. So you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye.